touch.
Liddell, tough shot. Bumping bodies. Misses this time on the fade. Rebound tracked down by Wieskamp.
You got to get back and identify. They bang these early threes. Make you
Shit in a matchup with Young.
As soon as you knock that three down, you got to identify him.
Weak side rebound grabbed by Wieskamp off the suing miss.
Driving more Wieskamp. That's what I like about his game.
Lost it momentarily. Frederick didn't play in the first meeting between these two teams. And Ohio State dealing with its first two-game losing streak of the season. Suing lets it fly. Short.
I like that high-low, though. Let Liddell stay in the box with McCaffrey. Key on the foul line with Garza. Look how he bowling balls it in.
Ball is popping. Wieskamp was going to get there on the angle, but the effort of Toussaint created this extra possession.
Yeah, Walker's got to get his fingerprints on the offensive end, I think, for Ohio State to prevail.
Toussaint shakes off the defender. Kick it out for Wieskamp.
He's shooting that a lot more confidently this year. That's his 9th out of 24.
First three of the day for the Buckeyes. Wieskamp gets a touch. High screen. Garza.
Pretty good defensive set right now. Doing a good job on Garza. The switch.
Drive in McCaffrey.
Pretty.
Score.
There you go.
Dwayne Washington is in the scorebook.
How about him? He is an offensive weapon, that kid. Think so?
Wieskamp.
Really got to stay at home on his adversity, I should say, with two hip operations. Just incredible. A nice double screen out of the timeout. Clean look.
And his first career assist was to Peter Jock.
Oh, sure. Good player, too. This nice double screen. What a nice setup out of the timeout. Ohio State a little tardy on the coverage.
Off the miss by Towns.
Wieskamp in that first half. Kept that dribble alive that time. Really solid around the rim. And if you overhelp, he just finds the shooter in the corners.
Bohannon gets cut off by Liddell. Swing it.
And Liddell now posted up defensively. There's the double.
So Young leaves his man.
Left corner.
Wieskamp. Fade. Rimming out. Rebound snatched. Garza. That now in his 11th year as the head coach. Completely different story spreading it around here today. Bohannon triggers in for McCaffrey. 13 assists for Iowa, only 3 turnovers. Jumper from the points for E.J. Liddell. Iowa's lead is 7. Ball fake by Frederick.
Always ready and a threat on the perimeter.
Step back. Wieskamp. No. We told you about the assist-to-turnover ratio, #1 in the nation for Iowa. They're playing to the scouting report. 17 assists, 4 turnovers. Meanwhile, Ohio State's turned it over 10 times, their season average.
Here's the double, and you pay for it.
Wieskamp got a
good shot and really hit that glass, too. Won't be an offensive putback.
Shot clock winding down. Jumper doesn't go. Grazes the rim. And Jallo couldn't bounce it off an Iowa player out of bounds, so the Hawkeyes can build on this lead.
Can be patient because you got the big guy. The obstacle.
McCaffrey gives it up for Wieskamp.
Does a great job screening.
The drive. Can't finish it. 4.5 minutes without a field goal for the Buckeyes. Young, the spin, and Short on the hook.
Now a little straight up man-to-man that trip.
Wieskamp off the rim. Garza sliding out of bounds, but couldn't see.
Numbers down there at the bottom. They lead the country in assists, lead the country in ratio, lead the country in offensive efficiency. But as Dick mentioned, they have been guarding better. And who's it going against? It'll be a foul.
The NBA into the collegiate situations, coaches have had tough times. Think about Drexler, you think about Mullen, certainly good, great guys, but they had a tough time. This guy has stepped right in. I think one of the keys, he really put together an outstanding coaching staff.
Yeah, including Phil Martelli, of course, longtime coach at St. Joe's. He's the associate head coach with Michigan, an invaluable asset to Juwan Howard. Tough driving left back, and you hear the word culture a lot, but it's really a thing in Ann Arbor right now as Smith knocks down a jumper to get him back within 2.
You know, Juwan told me that he watched a lot of film. He's not shocked at all at how Brown and how Smith have fit in perfectly with this team. He said he analyzed, evaluated them, talked to them, and knew they would be great assets in the locker room as teammates as well.
Yeah, it's Mike Smith. We haven't seen Shawnee Brown yet, but we will. The transfer from Wake Forest. Wieskamp a little bit short on the throw. Looks like they're pretty safely in, but again, a lot still to be decided in the next couple of weeks as Dickinson is back in the game and ties it up. Now we got the 2 big guys banging once again. And that'll pass. Banks at home, and he's asking for a foul as well.
How smooth was that move on the interior? Unbelievable. Caught the ball in deep. Nice little steps at the left-handed player. He is going to be special. This is only the beginning where he's going. Juwan Howard is telling me today. Juwan loves working.
Averaging about 15 points, 8 rebounds per game, and a very efficient offensive play. Right leg injury, will not return. That is clear now as we see him coming out on crutches. And again, Dick, you just hope it doesn't have anything to do with the torn ACL that he suffered a year ago.
I know he's such an important kid to this team.
A long 3. Nothing serious for Connor McCaffrey.
Now Fran's going to go back being a coach and go down there for a moment.
Keegan Murray into the game now for the Hawkeyes. Boy, Livers closing out on Wieskamp in a hurry. What a matchup on the wing that is. Wieskamp now with a drive, and he draws the foul. 60% in the second half, 9 for 15. Tipped back out by Dickinson, but it belongs to the Hawkeyes. They are playing without Jack Nunge, who will not return after suffering a right leg injury. Connor McCaffrey has not come back since suffering what looked like a roll. Doing the best they can, right? Everybody's just trying to play as many games as they can. After this one, Michigan goes to Bloomington. They host Illinois Tuesday night. You can see it here on ESPN. And then how about this, Dick? They've got a home and home. You mentioned this in the first half. A home and home with Michigan State to end the regular bench, but he has not come back in the game since rolling his left ankle. There's a nice steal. Wieskamp being chased by a couple of Wolverines, but still lazy. Just slow things down and make good decisions, and Smith and Brooks.
I mean, 2 transfers. Talk about impact transfer players. Guys that came into a program. We're not talking about just statistically. We're talking about filling important roles. Brown's a terrific defender.
Yeah, Smith from Columbia, Brown from Wake.
Fight to get over that screen. They switch. They switch a little mismatch inside. And Garza inside there with Smith.
Dickinson down with a
paint. You got to do your homework early, obviously, and get a good angle. Nice entry pass. Connor McCaffrey. Excellent post feeder.
Keep an eye on Jordan Bohannon. He's closing in on the Iowa all-time assist mark. Now 2 away. Suing off the spin. Flips in the floor.
He does a great job sealing in the lane. See if he can get away with Garza's size.
Ohio State dealing with its first 2-game losing streak of the season. Suing lets it fly. Short.
So important to read the bounce and dive at the opportune time.
Joe Toussaint won a New York City title at Cardinal Hayes, and he has given Iowa a 10-point lead.
I'd like to see Walker get in the lane a little bit, too, if they don't work on Liddell.
Liddell, fake on the double, creates space. Tip-in doesn't go for...
Garza moved outside at that open middle for penetration.
Iowa 30, Ohio State 18. We approach 5 minutes to play, first half. Eugene Brown III is in for the Buckeyes. Freshman from Conyers, Georgia.
Nice drive.
He'll push the tempo.
Afraid to dribble drive or make it 3, and Walker gets it to the rim.
Attack mode. Walker rebounds his own miss. Looking to create Washington's sweet-looking stroke.
Shooters outside, Bohannon and Frederick and Wieskamp.
Remember, first meeting between these two teams, Iowa had a double-digit lead. Ohio State rallied in the second half. Buckeyes trail by 14 as they open the second half. Washington, the bounce, kicked by Liddell, jump shot.
Keep getting good looks, move the ball. Ohio State a little reluctant to find field.
Suing, shooter. He is a top flight jump shooter.
They're a different team when he's healthy.
Get it in for Jallo. Still have time to work with on the shot clock. Washington step. Bullseye.
Well, he does a nice job keeping the bounce a little bit, eyeing whether they're going to slough off and help on the dive.
Short as hell. It's not an open three.
For Jordan Bohannon, that is his 341st career three-point field goal. Second all-time in Big Ten history behind only John.
He doesn't need me here. He can analyze. He can do play-by-play. He can do it all. But as long as I get the check, I don't mind.
And Iowa back within one. You never cease to amuse me and amaze me. A lower scoring game than we thought we would have, but a lot of time left for both of these teams to dial it up at the offensive end. Nice kick out by Dickinson. And Livers just runs it down. That's just great hustle by Livers, but then he missed outwork Luka Garza, that we know. Jump hook off the glass, no good. Rebound Livers.
He's not getting open looks. I'll tell you one thing, Dickinson doing a heck of a job defending him. He wanted the ball. They missed Dickinson right there, too.
Yeah. You know what I think he's doing? Like, normally, Garza just is so strong, he can back you almost under the basket and score. He can't do that to Dickinson. He's not pushing him around at all. As Wagner
annoy him. I think Seth said it earlier in the game during one of our breaks with Kevin Connors and all, Sean. He said, first time he's going to shoot over top of someone.
Yeah. Wagner with
battles defensively as well. Look at him right out there.
Forcing Bohannon into a tough shot. Rebound Davis.
See, they're really not allowing open threes. They're really challenging the Iowa shooters out of respect.
And Wagner.
I know, so educate me. I need a little education.
Jerry McNamara of Syracuse, 2002 to 2006, the last high major player with better than 300 threes and 600 assists in a career.
He was special, man. Let him play that national title. Going to be a very good player. There's no doubt about it. He's going to be a terrific player in the Iowa uniform.
He has scored in double figures 6 times for the Hawkeyes this year. Had a great game in a win over Rutgers with 14 points and 9. Garza now 6 for 19 after the bucket. He's got 16. Iowa can score in bunches. Still 7 minutes left in this game.
I really like the staff. He put together Jawan Howard Isley, a former NBA player. Boston College may look at him. That's his alma mater. Would be a good choice. Nice spot.
Part of this game, you see Penn State has been much better shooting the basketball in Big Ten play than they were in the early part of the year. They are coming off one of their better offensive performances in a while. They scored 82 against Ohio State. But Jim Ferry's going to the bench early. Sam Sessom's in for the Philadelphia native. Boy, nobody picked up Frederick, who's been the hot man early. Rebound Brockington.
Penn State is not getting sorted out in transition at all yet.
And that was what you talked about. Jim Ferry mentioned the pace being better for them when it's higher. They seem to play better in games, and certainly offensively, you can't let it affect you on defense. Nice glide to the rim.
Such a good passing team and such a good decision-making team. You could make a case. It's the smartest passing team in the country with Iowa.
Second in the country in assists, third in fewest turnovers, number 1 in.
I've been really impressed with Penn State's response. They got down big early, got punched in the mouth, and they've really settled in and, frankly, imposed their will and complexion of what they want this game to look like.
7 for Garza, halfway there to the record. Here's Brockington. That's short, rebounded by Murray.
Again, you don't want to sacrifice the movement and the pace if you're Iowa, but if you can't get anything in the open floor, slow down and throw it in.
Quick trigger, Sessoms. Ooh, in and out. Garza had the position. Wieskamp, an assist for Luka Garza, and there's the first points for Iowa's second leading scorer.
And that's one of Iowa's pet plays to get Wieskamp going.
Brockington lost it. Here come the Hawkeyes.
Whole game. The ball has moved. Bodies have moved. They've driven it off ball reversal. Just been excellent execution.
Extra pass from Jones to Brockington. Good close by Iowa's defense. Sessom trying to penetrate the matchup. The pitch to Lundy. Rebound Murray.